hello galactic family. Within the illusion the only constant is change. You all know this, but you do not need to remind yourselves that that is part of the illusion, an aspect of time which is the linear coefficient of the illusory concept that you chose to construct and maintain. Now that the foundations or underpinnings are collapsing, changes are occurring more and more rapidly. And these changes are especially noticeable in relationships, from personal or family to intergovernmental ones. Change is an aspect of evolution, and you are all evolving, and your evolution is basically along a spiritual path, even though vast numbers of you appear to have no spiritual interest or awareness, apart perhaps from believing that anything spiritual is unreal, the result of unbalanced emotional needs being pandered to due to a sense of loneliness, unacceptability, and the fear that engenders. Those needs are indeed very prevalent among those who are consciously attempting to follow a spiritual path, and may well indicate the initial signs of a growing awareness that there should be, and indeed, I have a lot of fun. And, deeply asleep and dreaming, the most humans are, that makes perfect sense. Anything that seems to provide safety, security, and pleasure to the individual is obviously something that is well worth working for. Over the last few decades, more and more of those who live in the apparent safety and comfort of the materialistically successful parts of the world are becoming increasingly aware of the vast contrast between their way of life and that of the billions who live without basic needs, clean water for drinking and cooking, food, shelter, clothing, and essential sanitary facilities. They are truly concerned with that vast gulf between the relatively well-off and the impoverished. The gulf between the inordinately wealthy and the rest is an altogether different matter, because those extremely wealthy and deeply asleep ones consider themselves entitled to their seemingly privileged lives in their egoic unawareness of the fact that they are even more dependent on others than are other people. They too will awaken. This awareness has led to a powerful desire and attempted to balance the playing field, so that everyone on earth is treated with the honor and respect to which every created being is, precisely because they are the beloved children of God. Is an aspect of the awakening process in which every single human being has a part to play, a task to complete. It is also very clear that there is an absolute number in the memory of their pre-incarnational and individual commitment to assist in humanity's awakening process. It was clearly understood in the spiritual realms that many, after arriving on earth the humans, would indeed have forgotten their pre-birth promises. And that's why there are so many incarnations on earth at this moment. Because the numbers of you presently incarnate are so enormous, there is absolutely no possibility of the awakening process failing to unfold the divinely planned and ordained. You could, in your amusing human terminology, say that the divine plan for your awakening has an overkill provision. That is, because of the enormous numbers of you involved, there is absolutely no way that it can be unsuccessful, because enough of you will remember your preordained tasks and will deliver the promised. As we in the spiritual realms keep telling you directly, and through the numerous channels we most graciously honor and respect, humanity's awakening is divinely willed and intended, therefore it most certainly will be achieved. It's already been achieved, but because of your myopic view of life, focused, as it mostly is, on the illusion and the games you are continuing to play there, you are not seeing the big picture, the divine picture, in which all live in joy, peace, and harmony, at one with each other and with God. That is the state in which you were all created, and that state has never changed, and you have never left it. What is occurring all over the world is the rapidly growing realization that there truly is no such thing as separation. Yes, you are individuals in form, individuals in very definitely separate bodies, but large numbers of you are now becoming aware of the fact that everything is intimately connected and inseparable. Therefore everything you think, say, or do, affects everyone else, even if you, humans, cannot actually see this occurring. God is infinitely wise, compassionate, loving. He is all-knowing because He is, and He created you like Himself. Therefore, when you designed and constructed the illusion in which you now find yourselves living small and basically insignificant individuals, you had all your skills and competences, you just chose to use them in an extremely different and unloving way. You chose a lifestyle, a way to prove that you were independent of and had no need of your source. But, because there is only one, that was something that could only be disproved, as indeed it has been. Consequently, it is impossible and painful to be independent, but it is not very painful. Life is truly a joyful experience unless you choose it otherwise. This is not to blame those of you who are not fully joy-filled, the vast majority of humanity. It is just to remind you that you will free because love, God, does not impose, direct, or control. Therefore, if you do not know what to do, you will not be able to do it. To awaken is to realize that you are free in that life, existence. Your conscious awareness is yours to use in any manner that you choose. The truth of this seems to make no sense at all when you find yourselves in situations or relationships that are extremely painful and from which there is no obvious point of exit. But the point of exit is the moment in which you choose to engage fully with love. When you do this, fear, and all that arises through it, loses its power over you, power it never really had. You just chose to be powerless, fear-filled. The whole concept of divine intervention in your lives, a God judging and punishing you for your misdemeanors, is a purely human invention. You were created perfect and that is unchanging. But as humans in the illusion, playing games of separation, inadequacy, and worthlessness, you needed to judge to make those calls. You were emotionally and psychologically unable to accept your own negative self-judgments about your choice to separate from the intense and ongoing pain that choice provides, and so you invented a system of rewards and punishments. Following on from that, you built a societal power structure or pecking order in which each was fitted according to his or her craftiness, with the possibility of rising up through that system available, but only for a few, while the rest had to accept their subordinate placement and behave as ordered by the authority figures that the system recognized and supported. The idea was to destroy all sense of personal autonomy, and it has worked extremely well. Even those at the highest levels of the system live in fear of relegation or even total banishment. You see this happening all over the world. The people who are in positions of power are criminalized for corrupt activities that are generally different from the activities of those who judge and condemn them. This is obviously an insane way to live, and now, finally, after eons of pain and suffering, people are allowing themselves to become aware of this. It is your awakening process. Initially there was a strong urge to have those responsible stand trial and be punished, which is what has been going on for eons. What is happening now is the growing awareness that these old ideas just do not work, plus the awareness that all are responsible for this ongoing insanity. Therefore, to move forward, instead of judging and punishing, open, honest, and clear communication is required, leading first to understanding the whys of this insanity, then to reconciliation, and finally to forgiveness. In the illusion all have sinned, all are sinners, and when that is accepted by all, healing can take place. For there is no sin and there are no sinners, that is all part of the nightmare you have been dreaming. Love always and only loves and cherishes, that is reality. Basically you, the human collective, have made the choice and set to cease playing the games with which the illusion presents you, games that demand deceit and violent competitiveness which always lead to further pain and suffering, and return to operating from your true nature, love. Within the illusion, of course, that takes time. Fear is endemic and has been acknowledged and released. Choosing to engage with love makes that possible. It is only the collective choice not to be loving that has held you seemingly locked into the nightmare. Yes, as you want to be loved, but because of your choice to experience separation, deep within you feel yourselves to be unlovable and you expend enormous amounts of energy seeking love from someone else out there, where you will not find it, because there is no out there. Once again, therefore, I would remind you to take time out daily to go within, to the depths of your beingness, and uncover or disclose the love that is there awaiting your acceptance of it. You are all infinitely loved in every moment of your eternal existence. The only block to love is your refusal to accept yourselves completely unconditionally as God does. Once you open your acceptance, you will find yourselves releasing your hold on attitudes and behaviors that are in any way unloving. You will find yourselves seeing love or the call for love in others, and you will be powerfully moved to respond to them with love. As you settle into this new way of being, you will find that you have fewer and fewer reasons to reject or judge others, as you recognize within them the pain and suffering that you underwent before you chose to align with your true nature. Be love, offer love, and open yourselves to receive the love that is your divine heritage. With so much love, soul.